This is an offense that you need to know about because it's super easy to run, has some of the most unstoppable routes, and it beats every defense in the game. And in this video, I'm going to show you the plays that make it so good, how to set them up to make them unstoppable, and then I'm going to take it into an online head-to-head game so you can see it in action. And as always, if you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for when we drop new videos. Now for this scheme, we're going to be looking at the Chicago Bears offensive playbook in Madden 26 and the formation normal Y off close. As always, if you want access to this full scheme with even more unstoppable setups and one-play touchdowns, you can find that on WinMadden.com. Now let's get to the scheme. All right, so the first play we're going to take a look at out of this scheme is the play Y sail, and again, this is from the formation normal Y off close. Now, very importantly, every play out of the scheme, we're going to run with our running back and our tight end, which is our RB and A receivers, to the short side of the field. This is very important. We'll get into why as we go through this. But next, you can see the ball's on the right hash mark here, so those RB and A players are to the short side. Now, to set this up, what makes this play so good, so hard to defend, is we're going to make one adjustment, and we're simply going to put our slot receiver on the wide side, which is Y in this case, on a zig route. And you're going to see how this little zig route essentially sets up this play for success and to make it so hard to defend. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show this against a bunch of different defenses because this literally will beat every defense in the game, and that's the only adjustment you need to make. So we're going to start with just a stock cover 3, but really the cover 3 doesn't matter. It could be cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. The read structure remains the same. You're first always going to look to this zig route by the Y receiver. And if they are in any type of zone coverage where they don't shade down, this is just like a free 5 to 7 yards. Force your opponent to guard this. They either have to go manually guard this or they have to shade their defense down. That was a cover 3 not shaded down. Here's, for example, a cover 2 not shaded down. Same thing. All right, nobody's in a hard flat over there. Now we're just going to throw this and we're going to pick up like 10, 15 yards, right? Very annoying. Well, this also does the same thing if your opponent happens to be in match coverage. So here's a cover 4 quarters. There is no shading here. I don't have zone drop set, so this is going to be playing like a match defense. And just take a look at what this zig route by the Y receiver is going to do. He's going to win. He's going to get to the outside. And now we're going to turn this into potentially, you're not going to get that every time, but potentially even a one-play score on an insta throw to a zig route, right? Very, very annoying. Now, the next thing out of zone coverage, what your opponent's going to start doing is they're going to shade their coverage down. So you can see here, the yellow zones are going to play down. We've got hard flats on the outside, and this is where this just becomes super annoying to defend. So again, we're going to put him on a zig route. If we see the yellow zones or the hard flats on the outside as soon as we snap the football, what we're going to do is we're just going to wait a beat, and then we're going to hit this in route over the middle of the field. Very simple, right? Not complicated at all, and the reads remain exactly the same regardless of what zone coverage or even man coverage your opponent happens to be in. So again, we're going to do the same thing. I went cover 2 this time, and I shaded it down. Again, we snapped the football. Oh, that yellow zone's going to play that. Oh, we got the ball swatted, but we had the backside dig route as well. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if my opponent like switch sticks over there and they guard that side of the field? Well, not a big deal either, because if they shade down any type of zone coverage, we're then just going to look to the right side, because now we have a flood concept to the short side of the field between our running back on the flat route, the tight end on the corner route, and the fade route by our solo receiver. And essentially what that means is if they're in any type of zone coverage, you're just making a high-low read between the flat route to the running back and the corner route to the tight end. You can see they have hard flats here. That means I'm just going to throw the corner route, and we're going to pick up 15 to 20 yards, right? This is not a difficult concept, but it is very difficult to defend. For example, I will show this against a cover 4 where people shade down. This is a very common defense that people will run. You know, we have the tight end here. We could also throw the backside dig route. Essentially, wherever your opponent's user goes, you throw to the opposite part of it. Very simple. Let's go to man. Cover 1 man. This is also something that beats man coverage quite easily. The zig route should win most of the time. The backside dig route should win, and the tight end on the corner route should all beat man coverage. You can see here, we're going to hit the tight end on the corner. A little bit of a tighter throw than I was expecting there, but we'll go into instant replay here and just take a look at this. So a lot of the times this zig route will just fry man coverage. It kind of depends on the the rating of the receiver here, but here that's about as good as you're going to see them play it. But this absolutely cooks the backside in route, wide open. And then additionally, this was a lot tighter than it normally will be, but you can see we're still able to even throw it and complete it towards the sideline. Let's go to cover 2 man real quickly just to show it to you. We'll press, we'll shade down, do the exact same thing, snap the football. Again, you can see Y is open, the tight end is now wide open, and the backside dig route would eventually have won there too. So that Y sail play, super easy. Literally, we're going to change one thing, put the Y receiver on a zig route, and then we're just going to snap the football essentially against every defense in the game. All right, the next play we're taking a look at out of the scheme is PA snag. Now, if you aren't aware of this, there's a little trick about play action plays, both in Madden and college football actually, but even just simply calling a play that has a play action in it, regardless of whether you run the play action, this does screw up a lot of the blitzes in Madden 26. So if you're struggling with somebody who's like loop blitzing you or something like that, just simply calling a play action play will stop that. So there's a little bit of an advantage of this play just from a blocking standpoint. Now, again, we're going to run this with our running back and tight end to the short side of the field. And this is going to be a universal beater for us, meaning we can literally call this against any coverage. It doesn't matter at all. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set this up by streaking the slot receiver on the wide side, which is Y in this case. We will then drag the tight end, Texas route the running back, and then streak our solo receiver, which is B. Now, the read progression is tight end drag, running back Texas route, backside post route. And this is, again, a universal beater. You can just read this against any type of play. So first read, always, we're going against zone here. If they don't have a hard flat, you're just going to take this and force them to shade down. You need to force your opponent to shade their coverage down. If they don't, you just keep hitting these underneath routes. Force them to guard them. Now, it doesn't matter what type of zone they were in. This is a cover 3, just stock, for example. But if they were even in a cover 4, and let's just say they shaded up, doesn't matter at all. You're still making the same reads. You can see the tight end is wide open. Here we could also just hit the running back right behind him, and we are going to force them to put a lot of zones on the field and make them shade them down. Now, when they start doing that, let's just, again, here's the cover 3. I'm going to shade the cover 3 down. The yellow zones will now play lower, and you have hard flats on the outside. This is a not difficult read, and this is what makes this so difficult to defend. You see the yellow zones bite down? All right, cool. Now I'm just going to hit the backside post route, and we're going to turn this into a big play and even potentially a one-play score depending on what type of zone coverage your opponent's in. Now that was a cover 3. Let's just show this against cover 4 quick. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to do it out of match coverage. So I don't have zone drop set. I'm not going to shade this at all. We're just going to run a stock cover 4 match out of here. So same reads though. Snap the football. Tight end is there, running back is there. We also would have had the post route. So it also beats match coverage, which again, a lot of people run match, and if you don't have an answer for it, they'll just sit in it all game. This is a very simple answer to match. What about man? Well, read progressions don't change at all against man coverage. Again, super easy to use both of the plays we've covered so far because the read progression doesn't change regardless of whether they're in man or zone. But again, you're going to see tight end wins, the running back wins, the deep post route, wide open. We're going to pick up big yards and again, potentially a one-play score. Now let's cover 1 man. I'll show it against cover 2 man just real quickly. It's not going to matter. Nothing changes here. We'll shade it down. We're going to press as well, just like a lot of people will run cover 2 man. And we will run the exact same setup. And again, you need to, if they give you the running back, they give you the tight end, just take them. The post route was open. The running back was open. The drag route was open. All of them are going to do a great job against any type of man coverage and any type of zone. So again, PA snag, wonderful play, super simple because it's a universal beater. And again, you're going to get that extra good blocking as well. All right, the final play we're taking a look at out of this scheme is going to be the play RPO alert out. Now, this play is special, and most people have no idea how special of a play that they have when they run normal Y off close. This is super annoying if you run it correctly, and I'm going to show you how to run it properly. So first and foremost, again, we're running this with our running back and tight end to the short side of the field. Now, where we are looking to throw this is we're looking to throw this to the Y receiver. The B receiver is great. He's over there. We're almost never going to throw it to him, but I want you to focus on the bubble screen to Y. Now, very importantly, this is one of the RPOs in the game that you can still flat route that Y player. That is crucial.
If you are able to put him on a flat, this is going to make this RPO so much better. Now, how do people typically defend these? People will typically defend these by running a cover 3 or a cover 4, and then they will shade down. And this works because they have a flat route or a hard flat from the slot receiver. And you can see here, this is the slot or the slot cornerback, not the slot receiver. This is the slot corner. He's in a hard flat. If I were to just run this normally, you're going to see that hard flat is going to be all over. We actually still completed it there. But that hard flat is going to be all over that most of the time, and sometimes he'll even intercept that. So we need to be very careful, but I'm going to show you how to counter what people will do to try to stop it. So let's go ahead and we will run cover 3. We will shade it down. Again, you have a slot cornerback in a hard flat here. And what we're going to do is, again, we're going to put our slot receiver on a flat route, but here we're going to go ahead and use the untarget feature. So this is something that you can pull up by hitting a left bumper on Xbox, L1 on PlayStation. Then you can see on the bottom screen here, my head just barely not covering it, but it says untarget. That's Y on Xbox, triangle on PlayStation. And then we're going to have this fire emoji come up. And we're going to move this over the player that we do not want our X receiver to block. So you can see here, this player that I'm hovering over, he's in a deep zone. We don't need to block him. We need our X receiver to block the person in the hard flat. So I'm going to go ahead and put that fire emoji on that guy. Now you're going to see the player who's X, it's DJ Moore, he is now going to block the person in the hard flat instead of that deep defender. So you can see here we snap the football, we're going to pick up that block, and now we're going to turn that hard flat that could have potentially even intercepted it into somebody who's going to get blocked immediately, and we're going to go pick up easy yards on this. And it doesn't matter if they're in cover 3, cover 4, same thing. Here's a cover 4, right? We're going to do the same thing, flat route Y. We're going to put the fire emoji on the outside guy. Then we're going to snap the football, and you're going to see we're able to pick up that block, and we get a bad throw, but we're still able to pick up 7, 10-ish yards, right? Very easy. Now, here's the trick, though. A lot of opponents will also just run a cover 2, and then they will shade it down. If the flat zone, right, is not from the slot player, then we do not want to untarget that flat zone on the outside because he's in the hard flat now. That cornerback, this guy right here, that used to be in a hard flat, now he's in a yellow zone. So we don't want to use the untarget here. Now we just want to run this play stock. Snap the football. You're going to see we're going to pick up that outside player, and we're going to turn this into, again, 10, 15 yards. This is a crazy, annoying RPO. And especially if you're able to figure out before the snap, hey, I think my opponent's running a cover 3. I think my opponent's running a cover 4. Hey, I know my opponent's in a cover 2, so I am not going to do the untarget feature. This is really hard to defend. Now, you might be thinking, what about man coverage? Let's go cover 2 man. I'll press. We'll do everything like that. Well, this is the same concept as cover 3 and cover 4, because essentially, if we run this flat route to the Y receiver, we just need to know who is the player who's going to go get him and who's responsible for him running the flat. Well, again, it's the slot corner who's manned up on him, right? So this guy is. So again, if we think they're in man, we're going to use that untarget feature. We're going to untarget the outside guy, and then we're going to see most of the time our DJ Moore will pick up this block. Not every time, but it's like 90% of the time he will. So we snap it. You can see we pick up the block. I don't know why I couldn't throw it there, but we pick up the block beautifully, and we, of course, we got the handoff to go like 15 yards also, but you'll see here, just take a look at this block. DJ Moore is going to perfectly pick this up. And if we complete this here, he is just all kinds of daylight, right? Nobody over here. We're running for a while. So again, this RPO is so good, so hard to defend. And you did see there that the run on it is okay. Like a lot of the times, if you get an opportunity to run this football, it will turn into a pretty decent gain also. Most RPOs in the game are not like that. Normally, if you aren't able to throw the bubble and you have to hand it off, like the RPO is not really that great from a run standpoint, but this one's pretty good. But this RPO alert out, it's fantastic. Again, mix it into the game plan a little bit. It's going to really force your opponent to guard sideline to sideline, and it's going to really mix into the rest of the scheme really well.
Now let's take this scheme into an online head-to-head gameplay so you can see it in action. And I really like the game I'm about to show you because I struggle in the first half, but you're able to see the power of the scheme and how it can quickly flip a game. And as a reminder, if you want access to this full scheme, you can find it on WinMadden.com. Completely overpowered. I would even put Joe Burrow potentially in that mix too. To get the hit. Oh, of course, they don't get the hit stick. But all right, let's play a little defense, and then we'll finally get the ball in offense. I form close player here. It's a good play. I mean, everybody's blocking for him too. All right. All right, we're gonna have to get out of nickel. And we are just getting that ball pounded on us here. How do I not pick that off? I'm right there. All right. Coach suggestions, or do we literally just have all of these plays ready to go in our game plan here? Jeez. I mean, it's something different literally every play. They're all custom too. Every single one of these plays is a custom book. All right, let's bring it out. I'm thinking we're seeing a cover 4 here. We'll just snap it. See how this guards. Yeah, wide open. Do we see it again is the question. We do not, but he's open again. Just ran man that time, switched it at the last second. I'm just going to show you how overpowered this play is. You could literally just run it every snap. Now, this is cover 2 man probably, or just a cover 2. It's one of those two. We're just going to, well, actually, let's just call this. This is fine. It just depends on whether he's shading down or shading up. Ended up being a cover 4, but again, tight end's wide open. Probably a blitz. I'm just going to block the running back. Just have the deep dig route, had the corner out to the tight end too, I think. Well, I can. Nobody open. Shoot. Had the backside dig, but I would need to step into it. Ooh, almost. All right, 4th down. Jesus. All right, we got stopped somehow. Please get him. I mean, we had to contain with a pass commit, and we still didn't stop him. Nice to get that pick, but all right, they're down. That's just a good throw. Let's go, our ball. Huge. All right. I throw it right back to him. Literally was just going to throw that apparently no matter what. What am I doing? Good sack. Okay, 3rd down. Blocked. That's good. He's going for the post. We're there. Oh no, I switched off of him. Pick it. Good. I didn't try to switch off him, but switched off him when I clicked in the stick to go get the quarterback. All right, good D. Throw. No, you gotta be kidding me, it was man. That's a touchdown.
Let's go. That's huge. All right, we get the ball. We're not out of it yet. This is the problem with having a team that doesn't have any burners, though. Like, man coverage in Madden is actually pretty good. So if you don't have anybody that can threaten over the top, it's going to be a long day sometimes. Another touchdown. Let's go. Our bombs are keeping us in the game here. I know that's not part of the mini scheme that I gave you, but it is part of the full scheme where we've got bombs for every defense in the game, which kind of makes it really hard to defend. And when we're not stressing them down the field, then it becomes a lot easier to defend the scheme. However, when you actually use the bombs, like we do, again, out of the full game plan, not in the 3-play scheme that I gave you guys, but it really does make this a lot easier. All right, play a little bit of defense again. We scored fast, tied up the game. It's good. Get him, get him. All right, causing pressure though. Pick it. Let's go. Can't throw it at him though. Can't throw it at him. All right, we're playing really good defense. All right, this looks like cover 4. Could be cover 2, but I think it's cover 4. Just have the tight end. Good. It was man. And we got sacked. Shit. It's the worst thing that could have happened. I thought we had Y. I was hoping he was going to bite on Y, but he didn't. Just stayed there. I think we've got that if we get enough time to throw that deep comeback. Something like this. I don't know. Let's just see what we get here. Looking for that deep comeback early. Got him. Let's go. Just like that, we're up a touchdown. Oh, he guessed right. Shoot. Good. Why would that guy get sent? I've always had a problem with this. Like, I've got a guy sitting in a zone over there, right? He's in its zone coverage, and I've got somebody manned up on somebody. The person who gets sent is the person who's manned up instead of the guy in zone coverage. It makes no sense to me. It never does. Oh, God. I didn't see that guy over there. That was a great hit stick, too. There we go. Good run, D. He showed that to us once. Once we saw it once, we're good. Good swat. I go for the pick. He probably catches that. Good play. I went over to the running back. Defense. Let's go. Huge. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, 4th and 31. Just try to get home. Good defense. All right, our ball. And he's out of here. So that was a great comeback, right? Down
14-0, playing terrible, and then all of a sudden we just kind of flip the switch. So again, love the offense. You do need to make sure that you're just doing the right things out of it there. Obviously we struggled in the first half there, but when you involve the bombs and everything that we have in the full scheme, it just makes it so difficult to guard the entire field. We showed that in the second half. Now this offense is great and you're going to score a lot of points, but in order to become a better Madden player, you have to be able to get stops as well. So if you like this video, you should check out this video next, where I show you the most overpowered defense in Madden 26.